Getting started before you even hire somebody. So who do you hire first? Well, it's not going to be a data scientist, I can tell you that. The most important role, the most important first hire is a data engineer. Now, the reason for that is without data, there's nothing to do. All the initial work is going to be data work. These are the people who are going to make the data available and usable. They're going to collect it and arrange it into a form that can be ultimately useful for analytics, that ultimately be used by data scientists. But it's all data work up front. I mean, a data scientist can't find anything, can't do anything until there's a good set of data to work from. Now, this role is necessary. There's no way around it. If you don't have this role, if someone's not doing the data work, well, someone has to do the data work. There's just no way around it. If the data engineer is not doing it, your data scientist is going to get stuck with it. And data scientists, this is a misuse of their skill set. I mean, they're capable of doing it. They're not ideal for doing it. I mean, they're not necessarily going to know how to do ETLs and APIs, and they're not going to necessarily know how to manage a data warehouse. They're not going to know those things. They might. But even if they do know, it's not necessarily something that they want to spend time doing. They want to spend time doing statistical modeling. They want to spend time questioning the data. They want to spend time looking for results and crafting those results into a story. They don't want to spend time doing data work. And that's why it's very important to have these data engineer roles. In fact, the principle here, and this is one of my most important pieces of advice for you, is you want to have at least 2 data engineers for every data scientist. That's how important this work is. I mean, this is fundamental for one reason, is you're offloading a lot of the data work from your data science to the engineers, as well as you're setting up the opportunity for automation. You should not be doing something manually more than twice. If that's the case, it should be automated. And the data engineers can take care of that. They can automate things so that the data scientists don't have to mess with them on a day-to-day or week-to-week, month-to-month basis. It's just something that they have a nice clean data set to work from. And like I said, it's work that needs to be done. It's the bulk of the work. You're best off hiring specialists to deal with it to free up your data scientists. The next hire would be data scientists. Once you've got some data to work from, these are the people who are going to be creating the models and analytics that produce insights. Like I mentioned already, it's kind of a common mistake that people think that the data scientist should be the first hire or potentially the only hire. But that's like trying to start a band with only a lead singer. I mean, you need people to set up data systems, data collection systems, data processing systems, integrate those results into operational process. They need to maintain those data systems. If you only got a data scientist, I mean, you're not, they're going to be super busy with doing things that is not really data science. So it's important to have these other roles. It's important to have data engineers to help out the data scientists. One of the things that I've leaned more towards with hiring these kind of specialists more and more as time goes on is communication. These are the people who you're going to be calling on to present to executives, present to stakeholders. You really do want to emphasize communication skills as part of their capabilities. It's something to interview for. It is something to assess as you're looking at people who are candidates for this. The communication is really key in this role because they are very often the front face of what your organization is doing. Lastly, you are going to need to hire people to maintain the systems. I mean, these are typically could just be kind of like data engineers, specialists in a way, specialists in monitoring and instrumenting, specialists in maintaining the data systems. This is somebody you'd hire later on once you have a whole system that you need to maintain. Now, you might be asking yourself, why do I need all 3 of these different things? Why can't I just hire one person to do all 3? Or if, unfortunately, you might be in a situation you've already hired one person to do all 3. Well, first of all, good luck finding someone who's truly capable of doing all 3 things. They're few and far between. And if you do find somebody, they'll probably be very expensive. But even if you could, it's still not a good idea. Because from these 3 different roles, it's not just 3 different skill sets, it's 3 different mindsets. the data scientists come at it with a science mindset. They like to do experiments. They like to explore options. The data engineers come from it with a software engineering kind of mindset. They like to build things. They like to build quality software, quality code, and have everything operate in a practical way. And then the data ops people, they come at it with an operations mindset. They like to monitor things and have them keep running smoothly. So you're dealing with three completely different mindsets for approaching the work, which is a perspective you want to have on your team. It creates a much more balanced and comprehensive approach to the work. It's, in my opinion, key to the success of these kind of projects, that you have that balanced and comprehensive view of the work, which you won't get from having a single person doing all three roles. And like I said, good luck finding somebody who's truly capable of doing all three. Lastly, you have the leadership role. Once your team's big enough, you want to hire somebody. But in some cases, if you don't have someone already in the team, if you're not the person already on the team that has some management experience, as well as some skill in leading analytic projects, if that doesn't exist already, this is probably going to be your first hire. I mean, you want to build, someone who's capable of building the team from the ground up. So if you don't have somebody kind of like this already, this is not your last hire. This is your first hire. But once the team grows to a certain size, this is absolutely critical. You're going to need someone. You're going to have so much work. You're going to need to have somebody help manage the work and make sure it gets done as efficiently and effectively as it possibly can be.